Okay. My next question to you is, and maybe you have a sense of this. I feel like there's a lot of pushback uh, if you were to integrate bagpipes into schools or some sort of organized musical thing here, you would get a lot of pushback because the pipes aren't taken seriously as like a serious instrument. Like we don't really tune well with anyone else. We don't play the same rhythms. Like we've got all these crazy embellishments. Like what sort of things have changed in Scotland to make it? I mean, it seems to me to be a fully accepted instrument, like almost not that much different than the clarinet when you go to Scotland, right? Like
Sure.
probably as many kids in Scotland are learning bagpipes as are learning clarinet right now. Do you think that's true? Maybe more?
I would say absolutely. Maybe more people are learning the bagpipes now, and as I say that is definitely down to these initiatives where we're just throwing as much, I guess, money and instruments at people and trying to get them to stick. And I think it is sticking, and it's this cool thing of like people are getting on board with it. I think, but yeah, definitely, it's almost like it's becoming cool again. I don't know if it was ever cool to play the bagpipes. It was certainly never when I was growing up. I was the kind of weird kid that played the bagpipes. But even in my school, since I've left, I think there's like 4 or 5 people that play the pipes, and that's due to the West Lothian thing and the bog hall thing from where I grew up. But there are now more places for people, and the pipes are more kind of in the public domain. There's like the Red Hot Chili Peppers have been really good for that in terms of like they're playing with top artists who people listen to in the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a band called Scary Vor. I don't know if you've heard of them, but a band called Scary Vor who were on the BBC Radio 2, which is like the national and the UK national kind of radio station. For they were on like their one of the like playlists for the radio for like 3 weeks or something recently, and it's like a pop song with bagpipes in it. And so that's like helping it reach new audiences, and it's people like, oh, the bagpipes, oh, I know, as you said before, like your cousin or your brother or your sister or someone might play the bagpipes, and that kind of makes it a better, like, I guess, more accessible to more people, because
Yeah.
it becomes this not this weird thing that someone's standing in the corner making loads of noise. And then also there's, I think people, and it maybe comes from the degree course as well, or people who are teaching are more aware, I guess, like myself, of playing with other instruments, and they're more aware of how to actually go about doing that, as opposed to being the loud guy in the corner who can't play with the brass band because they don't understand. If I can tell, like I can
Yeah.
tell a student, I can equip some students with the knowledge in order to do that as well, which is
Yes.
maybe wasn't a thing before.
It draws my, like when Oren Moore, we used to play with like a local rock band here, and people even in
Sure.
Oren Moore was a collection of like some of the best players in the Northeast United States, and people still looked at me like I was some sort of I don't know what the right word is, like some sort of savant or something, when I just like got the band tuned up with the rock band. And it wasn't a big deal. We had to explain a couple things and, a little bit of trial and error, but it's very rare to have, especially in the US. And I can say this with authority because, like I said, I mean, Oren Moore was a collection of the very best players, across a 500-mile radius. And none of us really knew how you would play with other instruments. Like, not really.
Yeah.
And I think you're spot on with that. I think that you sort of have to take the blame. Like, pipers sort of have to take the blame for not having a clue in a lot of respects. And so why should other musicians respect us if you can't even explain how you might have a tune together?
Yeah, no, sure, absolutely. And it's about having the common vocabulary as well with
Mm-hmm.
other people. And I don't know if, again, I played other instruments, so I knew the words that they would use in that world. I play the trombone, I played brass, so I knew the kind of the way that they would talk about things versus the way that pipers talk about things. And pipers in like serious pipe bands talk about things in such a strange way, and it even goes down to like counting into like a 3/4 march, 1 2, like that doesn't make musical sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
And like, yeah, I actually never even realized that that was weird until I went to uni and we were playing like a tune in 3/2 or 3/4 or something, and I was like 1 2, and then played, and everyone was like waiting for 3.